Welcome to this polity lecture series. In this lecture, we will take that Assam doubtful citizenship. What is that? D voters. And recently, in the news, it was like 100 volunteers have came up with the advocates as well, and they will tell the people about their rights. So, what are the rights that they hold for the citizenship of the India? What are the rights that they don't know, and what are the constitutional rights that have been provided irrespective of their D voters list, and how they can approach to delisting their name from the D voters list and registering their name in the NRC and all. So all those things we will see in this lecture. So moving ahead, I will request you to please go through this lecture till the end so that you will have a complete picture of it. As it is a new channel, so I request you to please subscribe this channel, because your subscription is a form of payment for me and it is a motivation for me. So why this is in the news recently, and what is the context of this lecture, so from where it has been taken. So the constitutional center has been set up in the district of Assam, and it is like these people, those volunteers, that there are around 100 volunteers in this grouping, and these volunteers will roam around the people and they will make them aware regarding their constitutional rights. Okay, regarding their constitutional rights. So in this context, this grouping has been done. This constitutional center has been set up in the Barpeta district of Assam, and it has been inaugurated recently, around in the month of October November of the year 2020. So the teachings of the Constitution of India, they will tell the people regarding the Constitution of India to the doubtful Indians. So what is doubtful Indians, we will just see in the next slide. In the village named Aditpur by the local activists and the youth, that they are that is, they are doing a truly commendable job. So this statement will come under your conclusion part. So this is the news that I have taken, and what all those aspects we will see in this slide. So what exactly is this D voters? D stands for your doubtful voters. Okay, doubtful voters means that there is a doubt whether this particular citizen or particular person is belonging to the country India or not. Like, are they a citizenship of India or not? So this is with respect to their citizenship. Okay, so I'm not merging this citizenship with the CA Act. Okay, CA Act is the different part, we will take in the separate lecture. So those persons whose citizenship had doubtful or was under the dispute will be categorized as a D voters. So in what case this will be doubtful? In the case of doubtful, let us suppose in the case of that is for the Assam only. So this doubtful is with regards to there is lots of illegal migrations happened in the Assam and still happening within the Assam. Right now it is very less in number, but illegal migration is still going on. Okay, so that's why government came up with a concept of doubtful voters, and the people who will be found as a who will be listed under doubtful voters, they have to prove their citizenship by giving some documentations to documentation or any proof to the government, so that after that their name will be discarded, their name will be removed from this doubtful voter list, and then their name will be put in the NRC list. So what is this, we will see. So the persons whose citizen was doubtful was under the dispute will be categorized as the D voters during the preparation of the NRC citizen of Assam. So what is this National Register of Citizenship, NRC? And in the news in the 2019 we saw that CAA and NRC was came, which brought a tremendous protest throughout the country. Like when we merge those two things, it will become something different. So I'm not going that much deep into that. I'm just taking with respect to NRC. This lecture is with respect to NRC. For the CA part, if you want, you can ping me. I will make a separate lecture where we will compare those NRC and the CA. But you will get lots of lecture regarding it also on the YouTube, on the or other social media platform. Okay. So what is this National Register of Citizens? So this NRC is maintained by the government of India, that is the central government, not by the state government, that is not by the Assam government. So it is maintained by the central government of India, and the National Register of Citizenship, it holds all important information of the Indian citizens of what? Of Assam. Okay, that required for their identification. So the people whose name is in the NRC will be considered as the citizens of the country, and they will be allowed to cast their vote, to nominate themselves in the elections, and also it will like their all rights will be as a citizen of India. So their name should be in the NRC list. Okay, their name should be under the NRC list. So that is something called NRC citizenship. So it will like there will be one register, your name should be in there in that list. If your name is in that list, it means that you will have all right of the country India, that you will have the all right to contest elections, to cast a vote, everything. So this happened in the session of your 20th November 2019, in the parliamentary session, when the Home Minister Amit Shah declared an extension of NRC to the entire country. In the 2019, our Home Minister Amit Shah declared it as to the extension of the NRC in the whole country, and at that time the protest happened, lots of protests happened regarding it to the NRC and the CA. So it was not against NRC, the protest was not against NRC, the protest was not against CA. The protest was in the favor of both the things, that when we merge those things, NRC and CA, for that aspect the protest was there. And as the CA, just I will give you a brief part, like in the CA it was like citizenship will be provided to those people who are minority in the other country, and who are not treating well in the other country. But in that category, one particular religion, I will not name it here, one particular religion was excluded from that category. So that caused a huge protest over the country. Okay, so NRC was first introduced in the year 1951, when the census of India and the Assam was the first in the updating in the NRC for including the names of the persons of their states to get all the rights for the country with their descendants. So it was like the country was divided at the time. There were lots of people moved from Bangladesh to the India. So Bangladesh was nothing but at the time it was something called East Pakistan. So that's what it was made to make a clear demarcation regarding that. And further, the people whose name will be registered in that NRC, then their descendants will also be considered their name under the NRC. So let us suppose my father has registered its name in the NRC, then there is no need to register my name over there, because I will have a proof that I am the son of my father. So that I will have a Aadhaar card. Let's suppose I will right now I have a Aadhaar card. On the earlier, let's suppose they have a electoral voting card and all. In that voting card, their father's name will be printed. So it is not necessary to get the name of the son and the descendants in that NRC. If your father's name is in the NRC, so your descendants will automatically will be counted under the NRC. Okay, so that was the concept that was introduced in the 1951 to clear demarcation of the people who are the actual citizen of India and who are getting proof that we are the actual citizen of India. At that time, we know our country was bifurcated into two. It was India and Pakistan, and the Pakistan was into two also. That was the East Pakistan, that is right now we have a Bangladesh. Okay, so that was registered in the NRC of 1951, or it was found in electoral rolls till the midnight of 24th March 1971. So it is still that your electoral rolls name, that your name should be in the electoral list till 24 March 1971. Why is this date so important? Why is this date was picked? It was the date picked because at that time our that East Pakistan was got independence, and it came to be known as Bangladesh. Okay, so that's why this date was chosen. Like after that, so much illegal immigration happened. So the government chose that date, like after that if any people will come, that will not be counted as the Indian citizen, that will counted as the illegal immigrants and all. So till 24 March 1971 you have to prove that you, by some certain papers and all, you have to prove as a original people living of the Assam, and then you will get your all rights. Okay, so the main purpose of the introduction and the updating of the NRC in Assam was the identification. It was not like who is the Indian citizen. The reason that has been provided for the making of this NRC was to make the identification of the illegal immigrant in Assam who had migrated to Assam from Bangladesh during 1971 war with the Pakistan. So this was the main motive. Okay, that who are the people who moved from Bangladesh to India in the 1971 when it got independence. So doubtful voters. So this is something called, this is all about your NRC. In the short and brief, this is all about your NRC. So what is the doubtful voters? So doubtful voters are not eligible. So let us suppose if we are unable to identify a person A, whether his name should be registered in NRC or not. Okay, and he is unable to prove some paper. So the government put its name into a D list, D voter list. So that is called doubtful voter list. If the person is identified that it is an illegal migrant, so it will be directly deported in the asylum and all. Okay, but if still there is a doubt, he is unable to prove, or he is telling that I have papers, I am unable to find, we have to search for it and all, if he is proving that I have a land over there and all. So in that scenario the government used to put these name of the person in the doubtful voters list. Okay, so doubtful voters are not eligible to cast their vote in elections as their Indian citizenship is not confirmed. Okay, that's why they are not eligible to cast their vote, and lots of rights of them have been used to be snatched. So they are also barred from the contesting elections in the country. The marketing as a doubtful voter is a temporary measure. So as starting still that, see, from 1971 to this is 2020, still there is an issue with this doubtful voter. Still this issue has not been resolved, but this doubtful voters, as when it was made, the main theme of this as a making it as a temporary measure, and it cannot be sustained. It cannot be, we can take this prolonged period for the centuries and for more than decades and all, but still we are facing this issue. So a decision in a definite period of time must be there. Within that time period it should be there. This doubtful voter list should be cleared. We should be able to identify, there must be a time frame that we should be able to identify in the D voter list, these are the Indian citizens and these are the illegal migrants. Okay, that's why there is no point to snatch those lists for that long period of time. And yes, we have seen the government tried in the 2019, and government tried, and we saw that lots of protests happened in the country and riots also took place in the Delhi. Okay, so the D voters have the option to apply and get their names included in the NRC. Yes, D voters should have, they have their own rights. They can approach the government themselves also to get their name registered under the NRC, but they have to prove their citizenship by some kind of documentations or what. They have to give some proof to be a citizen of India, or they belong to the state of Assam. Okay, so that is something called they can approach the government, they can put their name in the NRC. So they will be included only after the getting clearance from the foreign tribunals, and their names then it will be removed from the electoral rolls of the D voters. It means that from the then after, when it will get verified, then after their names will be removed from the D voter list, D voter category. So the large majority of the when their names will be removed from the D voters from the electoral rolls, then they will be able to cast their vote and all, and they will be able to contest elections as well. So the large majority of the D voters belong to the vulnerable sections and are not aware of this nitty and gritty of the constitution. It means that in this complex term, nitty and gritty of the NRC process, and largely unaware of these rights and privileges. In the simple term, it means that the most of the people do not know about their rights. What is the process to get their names into the NRC? Most of the people do not know. If we talk about literate people also, most of the literate people also don't know. They do not knows their constitutional rights as well. If we talk about only part of Assam, this is eligible, but for the rest of the country also, this is the same situation. Most of the people do not know their rights and all. Okay, so for that, these are the issues. Whatever I discussed from there, these are the issues. And now the volunteers that have came up have done a commendable job. They started to uh, raise the voice. They started to convey the knowledge. They started to convey the information to the people regarding their rights. What are the rights they hold? How to register their name into the NRC? What are the documentation proof that you can show? In what way you can prove that no, you should not be in D voters. Your name should be into the NRC list. So these groups are doing that kind of. So these local activities, and the youth opened a Samvidhan Kendra. Samvidhan in the Hindi, in the English it is known as constitutional, and Kendra means center, at Aditpur in Assam. So the Samvidhan Kendra, that is the constitution center, is a pioneering initiative taken by these young youth people to make aware, to aware the people for their citizenship right. What is the citizenship right? Those people are doing, they used to, they awareing the people, they conveying the information, they conveying the knowledge about their citizenship rights to the people. So simplifying the constitution for the most poor and illiterate or barely literate people also struggling to prove their citizenship. So this statement means that keep aside that poor and illiterate people, even your literate people, those are simply literate only, those who can have a little bit knowledge also, they are also facing the challenges in proving their citizenship right. So these volunteers will come up and they will tell what are the process. They will help in registering their name, they will help in making their knowledge, and also it is like they are just making aware to the people about their rights and their fundamental rights and duties, and the process and all, what the process to register their name into the NRC and all. Okay, so this center organizes an assembly of advocates. Advocates will be there if they have to file any cases and all, so they will have their advocates and all, aspiring lawyers to update a case in the D voters and suspected foreigners being handled, and motivate each other to help and come as they are the victim of the system. This is the complex system that we hold, the judiciary system that we hold. Our judiciary system used to just complete one case around the average. The average is it will take up to 5 to 6 years, but actually it will take around the 10 to 15 years as well for any particular small case. Okay, so that's what they are, the victim of the system. They have to prove that they are the victim of the system. In that case, these advocates organized by this Kendra Center, Samvidhan Kendra, that is a constitutional center, will help them. So advocates associated with the center offer free of the legal services, the services that will be provided, the cases that they will fight for them, or the paper, the notices that they will submit, all will be free of cost. The charges that the advocates will hold will be free of cost. And what are the other charges that they will charge, like with the paper cost, or that is around 1 rupees, 2 rupees, or 10 rupees, what are the charges will be that they have to pay, but the advocates will work freely for them. So the sevaks means that who will help her. So the sevaks assist them in making documents ready and running all their errands. So what is the conclusion? So we have to commend those grouping, the youth grouping, that they are doing a very good initiative. They have taken a very good initiative and they are doing very good work. The initiative that they have taken, the steps that they have taken, is really commendable and it should be appreciable. And this things should not be groups to only a particular one stem. Even throughout the country, most of the people do not know their fundamental rights and all. So we should have that kind of groupings throughout the country as well. So if that is one of the conclusions that we make, that these kind of groupings will help the people, illiterate people, the poor people throughout the country, to know their rights. What are the rights to its constitution? Most of the people do not write. They just leave it. Okay, I'm being hurt by this rich people or the particular person, just let it be. No, they will make them aware that it should not be like you have your fundamental rights, you have a power to speak, you have to power to move throughout the country freely. Yes, there are certain restrictions, but actually you have a right to free the country freely and all. So these kind of groupings should be there throughout the country. So the initiative by the youth and the local activists deserves applause. This initiative can be template into the followed other parts of the country as well, where there is a significant number of people that are not aware of their rights guaranteed to them by the constitution. What kind of rights we are talking about? Their fundamental rights, and there are certain kind of duties as well. So duties are for the states as well, but we citizens also have some duties too that we have to pay to the state. So it is very important that these organizations are encouraged by policy and financial support to create a legal awareness throughout the country. Okay, so that was all in this lecture. I hope you have liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Your subscription is a form of payment for me. If you have any doubts, if you want any on-demand video lecture, please feel free to ping on my Twitter handle. Thank you.